Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Mischa Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within.
Again, as I said on the last episode, it's time to make the decision about whether to renew for the 2CCX coaching group I'm in. And for anybody that's new or has forgotten, part of this coaching group has gotten me to publishing every day, hence this podcast that you're listening to right now, the Bitch Slap, the Accelerated Path to Peace podcast. Then also the summit, the Tools for a Good Life Summit. Those are two things that I've done. And now I'm tasked with putting myself out there more on Facebook groups and trying to build a bigger audience and start driving some organic traffic versus paid traffic. So that's kind of cool, right? But I'm definitely nervous about, do I have the capacity to daily do those things. So that's a question that I've got in my mind. Also, hold please. The last episode, the interweb crashed and right in the middle of the episode. And so the recording popped up. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see if I have to do it or whatever. Sorry, diversion. Perhaps I'll edit this section out when I go to editing this podcast episode. So yeah, the 2CCX got me publishing every day on a podcast. I did a summit to start building a list and developing relationships with people on my dream 100, people who I would like to work with, collaborate with, communicate with, develop relationships with in the space that I am playing. And now it's time to start creating products, offerables, an offer, something to offer you, the people. And that's what I will do year 2, hopefully, is start creating offer interested in and trying to create funnels to drive sales of said products. And so the last episode, well, what if I wasn't worried about money? Because up until this point, it's been a losing financial proposition. And that was, well, gosh, if money wasn't an object, heck yeah, I'd do it because I'm having fun and learning and being of service and all these things. So the next question was, to help me with this decision, was keep who I can help in focus. So again, I'm looking to renew the 2CCX, which is a high-end coaching program. So it's expensive. And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I do this? And what am I going to do? And it can be such a big thing. In the universe, God, source, the infinite intelligence dropped the thought into my head, keep who I can help in focus. So that avatar, that elusive ideal of who I can help. And so I did have who can I help? So I did a little bit of writing, and this was who I could help. I help growth-minded high performers move beyond the constant worries of money, which is funny because I'm just was talking about financial worries. Hopefully I'll move past that and just sign on the line that is dotted. And the need for relationships so that they can thrive in the second half of life. So if I can keep that person in mind, those high performers who, right, like I was a high performer, and one of the best decisions I ever made was quitting my high performing career to do what other things that my heart was calling me to do. And throughout my life, I've made many hard decisions like that have all been awesome and led to a really cool life. A life, actually, that my son said to me the other day. I did an episode about this. I want to have cool experiences like that. I want to have cool adventures like that. So I've had a very adventurous life, which is super fun to think about. So that provided me sort of some freedom to be like, yeah, all I need to do is keep that ideal in mind, being of service to that person out there, because that was a place I was suffering, right? Like I was suffering. I was in a job that I didn't want to be in, and I was stuck in there because my identity of being a successful mortgage banker kept me there. Society's pressure of you've got to know what to do next. You've got to be earning, producing, succeeding. I was A type sales, like I was in it, and I knew my time was done, but I couldn't leave. As a matter of fact, I had the full Godfather moment of quitting, and then divorce happened. Not quitting, I did actually. I was out of it, and the judge, the judge, I had to take a vocational evaluation, I believe is what you called it. They're like, sorry, my friend, you have child support and alimony to pay. And the one thing you know how to do well currently is mortgage banking. So we know you can do it. So we're going to assume that you are and assign a financial number based on what you could be making if you were in mortgage banking. And at the time, I was like, shit. Sorry about the language. Godfather moment. Every time I leave, you pull me back in. So I ended up back in mortgages. Isn't that funny? So anyway, I was finally able to leave, but it was a very tough decision. I did some heavy, heavy, cool work that helped me realize instantly. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh my god, it's time to go." I see the vision for the future, which happened to be a stay-at-home dad. It gave me the courage to be a stay-at-home dad to my then tween and teen boys, two boys. So that was a heavy, dark place for me at that transitional point until I finally had the courage to, or I saw, like, take the leap, quit the job. It's okay that you don't see what's next, because I did not see what was next. It gave me the courage to walk away without knowing what was next. And boy, it was so beautiful and one of the best decisions I ever made. And if there's previous episodes where I talk about the depth of despair that brought me to that moment, breakups, all kinds of things. Yeah. So if I can keep that person in focus, that I can help them. Not quite sure how yet, perhaps. Maybe the summit helped. Maybe these podcast episodes are helping some of you out there who are in that state. But I had somebody else told me when I was wanting to vamonos or leave the 2CCX when it came time to brass tacks for the summit. And I either needed to leave the 2CCX or tackle the summit. And Kent said, "You're being selfish, Mischa. You've got people to help. Buckle down, do the summit, quit being selfish." And I was like, damn. And so there it was again. Keep who I can help in focus. So there you go. That, and if what I wasn't worried about money, those two things, if I was like, yeah, the money thing will sort itself out. It always does and always has. And that doesn't mean there's going to be more riches or this or that or the other thing. Or it doesn't mean I won't have to have a roommate or something like that, or who knows. If I had parents to go live with, it wouldn't mean that I wouldn't have to move back in with mom and dad. I'm way far away from that, but those are funny that those fears can sort of materialize. And as long as I focus on service, the answer is clear. Be free of the ego to make heartfelt decisions, and your life will be inspired and amazing. That's what I've got. Have a great day.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.